There are many jobs that are posted on Upwork, many virtual assistant jobs every single day. Every day, a lot of jobs have been posted on Upwork. But that doesn't mean that every job is a good opportunity. And if you don't really know what a good opportunity is on Upwork, you are going to end up wasting your time and your connect without actually getting hired. Especially with how Upwork works, where you have to use your connect in order to apply for jobs. And connect are not very cheap, especially if you are a beginner without any client. And that is why today I'm going to share with you some jobs that you should never apply to on Upwork. And remember this, some jobs, even if you end up getting hired, you might end up regretting accepting the job. And that is why I'm going to share with you exactly the type of jobs that you shall avoid when applying for jobs on Upwork. The first struggle on Upwork when you are applying for jobs is getting your proposal to be viewed by a client, by a potential client. You know, when you send proposals, a lot of other people also send their proposal. The very first challenge is to get your proposal viewed by the client. If the client never even look at your proposal, then you don't stand a chance. It doesn't matter how you write your proposal, what you include in there. If they didn't even look at it, you don't stand a chance. And that is why the very first thing you shall focus on is apply for jobs that doesn't have too many number of proposals. If you check the job details on Upwork and you see already 50 plus virtual assistants send their proposals, then you have a less chance of even getting your proposal viewed, because maybe the potential client have a lot of options and maybe they already check out some of the proposals they received and maybe they even shortlisted the ones that they want to move forward with. So if you send your proposal, you have a less chance of even getting your proposal viewed. So before you send your proposal on Upwork, make sure, my advice is try to go for jobs that has less than 20 proposals. Less than 20 proposals, there is a very good chance the client is going to check all of them. But 50 plus, not so much. I know Upwork has a bid feature where before you send your proposal, you can bid, you can pay more connect to have your proposal at the top. That is something I personally never tried, but maybe if you tried it, it will help your proposal stay at the top. But unless you plan on using your connect to boost your proposal and keep it at the top, I will advise to stay away from jobs that have too many proposals. The next type of job to avoid is if the client has too many open jobs. If you check the client history, when you open a job before you apply, on the right sidebar, you are going to see some information about the potential client. If you see maybe within the last 12 months, they posted 100 jobs and they only hire maybe 5 people out of 100 jobs they posted, then there is a very good chance that job that you are looking at, they are not going to hire anyone, because a lot of the time you will open a job posting and see the client posted a lot of jobs and they didn't hire anyone. With maybe they post 100 jobs and they only hire 5, it means their hire rate is just 5%. They are not that serious. So you should just avoid wasting your connect and your time. I personally never understand why some clients do that. They post a lot of jobs and end up not hiring that many people. But whatever the reason is, it is affecting you, the virtual assistant who is using your connect and your time to apply for the jobs. So simply avoid those type of jobs. And the next important thing is, if a client has bad reviews, it's very important to just stay away from that type of client. Maybe it's okay if the client has like 4.5 star reviews out of 5, but if a client overall has 1 or 2 star reviews, it's very important to stay away from that type of client. When you open a job before you apply on Upwork, if you scroll down to the bottom of the job posting, you are going to see if the client has already worked with other freelancers. And if they did, you are going to see reviews that the freelancers who work for the client left. The same way that you, a virtual assistant or a freelancer, if you work for a client, the client will write a review and rate your performance. You also, as a virtual assistant, you can rate the client performance. So if you check the client performance, the client reviews, and you see most of the people who work for the client have bad, terrible experience working with the client, it's just very, very important to stay away from that type of client, because having a bad review for the client might not care that much, but you as a virtual assistant, if you work for the client and you end up getting a very bad experience and you have to stop working for the client and the client leave you 1-star bad review, the client is going to contribute into making your profile unusable. Just take a look at this job that I found, just an example of a job posting on Upwork with too many bad reviews. Take a look at the first one. The first one, he have 2.3 star review. 2.3 star is obviously not a good experience. Look at the other one, only 1-star review, and look at what the freelancer said. One of the most difficult clients I have worked with, avoid him. So I don't know if the freelancer is telling the truth or not, but to stay on the safe side, it's best to avoid this client. And look at the other one down here. The client said, do not work with this freelancer. They falsely billed me for 3 hours, and whatever it is, you can clearly see there is a lot of conflict between this client and the freelancers they work with. I know maybe the client has bad luck and they hired too many bad freelancers to work for them. But maybe the client is a bad one and is giving freelancers hard time and is ended up giving freelancers 1-star review. I don't know, but if I am to apply for a job, I am going to stay away from it. I am not going to take the risks. And this is very important. Scroll before you apply for a job to the bottom and check out if other freelancers, other virtual assistants left a review for the client. If you found multiple bad reviews, stay away. Don't take the risks. The next type of jobs that you shall avoid on Upwork is if the client has unrealistic expectations. There is a lot of this kind of things also on Upwork. When you check a job description, you will see some expectations that are going to be really very hard to really meet. I don't know about you, but everyone is different. So when you open a job on Upwork, just read the job description. Read it carefully and understand what the client needs. If the client is looking for someone who knows how to do every single thing on earth, maybe you are not the right fit for them. Because some clients will have unrealistic expectation. They will want you to do some complex things that will take maybe 5 hours and they will expect you to finish it in 1 hour. This is a big problem with some client. And in order to spot this type of client, you will see it most times in the job description. They will mention something like, this job will take not more than 30 minutes. If a client already is telling you how long the job will take, and you read and you understand the job description and you don't think it is going to be finished within that time frame, these are an indication that the client has unrealistic expectations. They will be looking for someone that they can pay $2 or $3 to do a job, and they will be expecting you to complete a 1-hour job in 15 minutes. Those type of clients exist, and it's very important to stay away from them. And in order to find them, you have to read the job description, understand what they are looking for, and just assess if it is something that is realistic for you to complete. If you are in doubt, stay away. There are a lot of jobs that are posted on Upwork every day. Try to find and apply for the right one. If you are in doubt, just to be on the safe side, stay away. And the next type of job to avoid is if the job is just not right for you. If you are just not fit for the job. This is a mistake from the virtual assistant side. If you are a beginner, you don't know much. And if you read the job description and the client, you might not able to read the job description entirely. This is a very important thing that new virtual assistants are missing. Don't apply for a job before you read and understand what the client is looking for. If the client is looking for someone in the US, if they are looking for a virtual assistant who live in the US and you live in Nigeria or other countries, you are clearly not fit for the job. You are not what they are looking for. So stay away. If they are looking for someone who speaks Spanish and you only speak English, stay away. If they are looking for someone who have a rising talent badge, stay away if you don't have it. If they are looking for someone who maybe English is their native language and English is not your native language, stay away. These are things that you are going to understand if you read the job description entirely without skipping parts. And then after reading the job description, you scroll down and you see any extra requirement. that the potential client has. If you are applying for jobs that you are not clearly fit for the job, you are wasting your time and your connect. So this is very important. Don't rush applying for jobs. Do it carefully and do it right. So if you intend to use Upwork to find client and build your virtual assistant career, these are things that you must keep in mind. You must learn, understand, and keep them in mind. Otherwise, you are going to be wasting your time and your connect. And if you find this video helpful, YouTube think you are going to enjoy this one also. So if you like this video, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.